French authorities are investigating whether fake news influenced the election. I agree, it did. The fake news that Macron is a maverick outsider when he's the ultimate establishment insider. They actually conned people into thinking that a bureaucrat from the outgoing socialist government was a populist outsider, an elitist who went to the very French school used by the elite to perpetuate itself, groomed by the establishment, groomed by Hollande, a Rothschild banker, a Bilderberg member, a pet project of the Elysee Palace who's never been elected to anything in his entire life. If he's an outsider, I'm the frigging Queen of England. CNN said he was defying the mainstream. He is the frigging mainstream. He's been endorsed by every single unelected EU technocrat under the sun. Claiming Macron is an outsider is literally fake news.
The French people have been able to see the real Macron in the second round. The candidate of the elite's mask is slipping.
But hey, at least foreign interests aren't interfering in the French election like the evil Russians did in the US election, right? Wrong.
I am supporting Emmanuel Macron to lead you forward.
Okay, but at least Obama didn't try to hack the French election, right? Wrong again. It was his CIA that hacked Marine Le Pen's campaign back in 2012. Macron and Obama have a lot in common already. For starters, they both love to prosecute journalists. But at least, unlike Brexit and Trump, the French media has been fair and balanced, right? Wrong again. Their tongues couldn't get any deeper down Macron's butt crack. Look at this. Have you ever seen a clearer illustration of partisan bias? Who's voting for this guy? Paris is hit with 6 jihadist attacks in just 3 years, and only 5% of them vote for Le Pen. They might as well wave a white fucking flag. Are these idiots gonna be out on the street once again? So-called feminists physically trying to block people from voting for a woman who would be the first female president of France. Yeah, put some clothes on, you're a fucking disgrace. Macron branded 8 million Le Pen voters hateful cowards. They're mostly just a mixture of young people anxious that their economic and cultural future is being stolen, and older folk living out in the rural areas forgotten by the very liberal intelligentsia that Macron represents. Hateful cowards? You're the hateful piece of shit, Macron. You've got the nerve to call Le Pen a fearmonger, while you literally invoke the threat of civil war if people vote for her. Give me a fucking break. No wonder whenever you meet real people outside of your metropolitan elitist bubble, they boo and hiss.
Well, you can hear it. Factory workers whose jobs are under threat booed Mr. Macron.
Oh yeah, and why do you have a grandma for a wife? Is there something you're not telling us about Macron? Is there something the French people deserve to know about? Maybe something other countries could use to blackmail you with. Here's a guy who's so arrogant, he names his party after his own initials. Cult of personality much? But seriously, Macron is just going to be Merkel's bitch.
France will be led by a woman. It'll be either me or Mrs. Merkel. That's the truth.
After all, he's into being all weirdly subservient to older women. Macron's already signified he'll scheme with her to try to block Brexit. He wants to put sanctions on Poland just because they refuse to have their sovereignty eviscerated by the EU. This effete manlet may look like a complete pussy, but in reality, he's a nasty little globalist. His solution to France's anemic economy is green energy. Green energy, the very stupid idea that wrecked Spain's economy. If the polls are right for a change and Macron does win, France's submission to Islamism will accelerate. 6 months after a Muslim migrant killed 86 people in Nice, this twat celebrated the policy of welcoming Muslim migrants. Mark my words, if this guy gets in, major cities in France will be unrecognisable in 5 years. Parts of some already are, and by that point it may be too late even for Marine Le Pen to rescue the situation. It may be death by 1,000 cuts, but the end result is the same. A vote for Macron is a vote for national suicide.
So we have to reform the country in order to succeed. in such an environment. So what I will do first is to reform our labor market, reform our training system, reform our education system. Okay?
Okay, but how can you do all these things if you don't yet have a party in, if you win, you don't have a party in the assembly that's going to help you pass those laws?
That's exactly the opposite. We do have a party now with more than 180,000 people. I mean twice the Socialist Party. And I will decide in the coming weeks, and I appointed a committee in charge of it, to precisely nominate people in order to go to the election. So we will have 577 candidates for our parliament, and we will be in a situation to construct a majority at the parliament.
But they need to win their seats. They need to get in.
But for sure, I do confirm. So you will have a lot of people coming from the Socialist Party, from the Lib Dems, our Lib Dems, I would say, coming from the right, coming from the ecologists and so on, working on the same platform, because what we have now is a platform. But you know, there is this big debate in France about the program or not a program or project and so on. I don't believe at all in a program. Why? Because you describe 200 measures that you will implement if you are elected. Nobody delivers. Why? Because you don't know about the actual situation. You don't know about the upcoming events. You don't know about new circumstances. Nobody, honestly.
But what about principles?
So what I built is first a clear and consistent vision.
Yeah.
We are pro-innovation, pro-education, in order to reduce inequality of chances. We are pro-Europe and pro-French secularism. That's a package.